Good morning, my lovely people. It is the last day of my little road trip within a lifelong road trip. I am heading back to Chiang Mai. I am at the Sirikit Reservoir waiting for the ferry to arrive. As you can see, we have tiny dried fishy snacks that we can buy if we get a little hungry while we wait. We don't know when the ferry's actually coming. Even if there was a schedule, it would be on Thai time anyway. So we all just chill out. And most of the guys in the van that are waiting, well, they're already partying. They're already on the beers and having a high old time, even though I think it's about 10 in the morning. This particular moment of loading the ferry gave me some amusement because, as you can see, they kicked the passengers off the van because it was sitting too low to reverse onto the ferry without losing its front bumper. But it turns out that evicting the passengers did the trick, and now it was able to board the ferry without any problems. In the meantime, I'm just chilling nearby this monk and I watch as the people come up to offer him donations in exchange for blessings. They take off their shoes and kneel in the dirt at his feet, and he recites presumably sacred words. Anyway, my motorcycle is the last vehicle on the ferry. There's always room for a motorcycle or two, so I don't have to wait for the next ferry like some of those people. But they seem pretty chill about it anyway. Like I said, everyone's already on the beers and having a party. สวัสดีค่ะ I always meet the nicest people on this ferry. And of course, I was offered a beer and an invitation to join the party, but I decided I'd better stay lucid. The next surprise was a police and COVID stop, which I didn't expect to be pulled over into, but here I am, and everybody is delightful. They want to know who I am and where I'm going, and I attempt to fill in the electronic app, but it doesn't work, and they just shrug and say, "Mai pandrai." I actually go to write down my number plate and realize that I've got it flipped up into the invisible position. So, right in front of the policeman, I have to flip it back down again to visibility so that I can write down my number plate. The policeman thought it was hilarious. And off I went. That is Thailand for you. Anyway, I was so thrilled because this is one of my favorite twisty roads. And I know I said that yesterday about those roads through the national park, but this is a better quality road. It's smooth and sweeping. The bitumen is in good condition. Not so many gravelly surprises, and you get a better line of sight through your corners, so you can really toss the bike around if you're in the mood for it. I've done it before on an MT-07 and I was dragging the pegs on that bike, but the little knobs on the underneath of my foot guards have actually been sawed off on this bike so that I don't get to scrape my pegs for another 2 or 3 centimeters, which is fine by me. As you can see, I'm being pretty chill today and just enjoying this glorious set of endless twisties. I am so glad that I slept last night in that nondescript place called Nampat because it meant that the first thing I did this morning was ride all the twisties down to the ferry. And now it's still early and cool and I'm feeling fresh, and it's just the perfect way to approach this delightful little road. I feel like finally the CBR and I are getting to know each other properly. And now that I've switched tyres out to those new Rosso 2s, I have so much more confidence in her. In fact, my morning is jam packed with some beautiful twisty routes, with just a bit of highway in the afternoon to drag me back to Chiang Mai for my appointment tomorrow. Now, I don't know how much of this you can stand to watch. The video of me simply riding around on a nice road and having a nice time. But I hope you're enjoying it for a minute because I certainly enjoyed it for more than a minute. You know, in Chiang Mai, you can hire some pretty sexy bikes. I know that CP has a Z900 in there with nice tires on it. It's not cheap to hire, but if you did, I would be taking you along some of these roads that I'm doing today. This one is fairly tight for a bike like that, but later on I'm going to be doing the 120, which is this beautiful, huge dual carriageway with some delightful sweepers. And that's pretty much the only road in Thailand that makes me wish I had more than 650 cc's. Anyway, I think you're getting the picture about just how much fun this road can be. In the dry season, sometimes you cannot cross the reservoir because the water level is too low. But this is the beginning of winter. We've just finished the wet season, and it's the perfect time to be crossing that reservoir and enjoying this beautiful, beautiful road. You have two options with the Sirikit Reservoir. You can either cross it like I did here and get this glorious stretch of happiness just pretty much to yourself. However, the other option is a road that snakes right around the edge of the reservoir and it goes really, really close to the Lao border. It is a really nice road, but it's also a little bit gravelly. So if you want to ride like a lunatic on slick road tires, then I'm going to suggest that you take the ferry and take this particular road here, which goes from the Paknai Fisherman's Village beside the ferry all the way for about 22 kilometers to a spot called the 10,000 Miles Bikers Cafe. I've always stopped there, but I've never actually met any other bikers there. I think my timing is just bad, but it seems that over the last few years they've blossomed into a shabu restaurant, so I suspect more happens there at night than during the day. Here I am enjoying my solitary matcha tea and regretting nothing. There comes a point at the end of a trip sometimes when you're tired. Anyway, I have an appointment tomorrow, so I have to make it back to Chiang Mai tonight. But to be honest, I am ready to just pull over and take a nap. Unfortunately, there's not enough daylight for a nap. I don't want to be riding in the dark. So anyway, here I am pulled over at the highway department in Payao, drinking some water and stretching my legs. Nearly home. And arrive safely I did, completely toasted, but happy as could be. So here I am enjoying the final beer of the trip and a delicious beverage. It was indeed. So in the end, the trip turned out to be over 3,000 kilometers and it turned out to be about 10 days long, which is a little bit longer than the week that I predicted. But as I may have mentioned before, I am pretty good at adventures and really bad at schedules.
I am already looking forward to my next ride. I am looking forward to getting into some mountains off road, but also heading down south. I am going to be doing some reconnaissance of some very, very sandy trails around Pattaya, around Rayong. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Stay safe, have fun. Bye.